Hey you guys, it's your girl Tasha P with another podcast style video from Trusted Transformation, my blog and platform where I discuss how every day is an opportunity for evolution. Thank you for stopping by and listening to me ramble, because you're in for a short treat of all of that good stuff. But today what I want to talk to you guys about is the question. And this is something that you can really think about and reflect on for yourself. Who am I when no one is watching? Who are you when no one is watching? Are you a traveler if you have to let people know you're out of the country, but you travel all the time? Are you a artist if you don't show it on social media, but you paint every day? Are you a musician if you make music and you practice daily? The guitar is your thing, or maybe it's piano, and you never post a song on Spotify. Who are you? And that question came to me because I've been thinking about myself and thinking about how I do choose to show up on public platforms like this. And a lot of times I realize it's performative. And what do I mean by that? Not that I'm intentionally making myself to be a performer, but that I feel like if I'm going to be present on these platforms, that's my time to think about art now. That's my time to think about, for instance, my blog website. That's my time to write and really write with in-depth thought and be consistent in the sense of making sure I put that out there with a certain level of in-depth analysis and reflection of myself, but only consistently for that. And I wanted to pose that question because it's something now that I'm challenging myself on, of, are you just the artist when people get to see your artwork, or are you purposely working on your craft every day? Are you setting aside time to go to the gym, for instance, if you say you want to be healthier and lead a more balanced lifestyle, whether it comes to, taking care of your body and really giving yourself the opportunity to live a fruitful life because you're putting your health and exercise and wellness first. Are you now that person doing it every day, or you're just doing it so you can take a picture in the gym and post it on the gram so people can say, oh yeah, she works out. That's what she wants to be known as. Or yeah, he plays music. That's what he wants to be known as. And the only time he's really practicing is when somebody else can see it and validate it. And I know for me, a lot of times, just being transparent here, art, for instance, I paint, I draw. It's something that I love. I have loved. Funny enough, this morning I was scrolling through my photo album and I was reminded, of some drawings that I did in like 6th, 7th grade, maybe 8th grade, middle school, like throwbacks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember before I even was thinking about taking a picture of this stuff, I was just doing it every day because I loved it. And it wasn't anything crazy in particular that I was getting sought out for to do this. It was just, I used to just have my sketchbook or just blank pieces of printer paper, and I would just be in every class when you get downtime, or maybe during lunch, I would just pull out that piece of paper and draw. Art was something that was incorporated into my school curriculum. I did have an art class, but it was just like outside of that, I just love to sketch and just, I don't know, I incorporated that into my daily life and just made that a thing that I did all the time. And now that my priorities have changed, but I took a elective class in college and I loved it. It was about beginning drawing, and I learned different techniques and styles to add more depth and range to my sketches, and it definitely improved me as an artist, which I am so grateful for, because it allowed me to tap back into something that I genuinely loved growing up and genuinely had a joy and appreciation for. And I knew that when I did post on social media, I wanted to be more well-rounded and more well-balanced in how I presented myself. I felt like I was leaning too much into the "this is what's hot" energy. And what I mean by that is I was posting a lot of pictures of, I know there was a heavy time where food was like super pushed on Instagram. Like everybody was just going to restaurants and taking pictures of their food. And then I started traveling a little bit more, so I would take pictures of me just wherever I would go and have everybody like see me like in this light of, all right, she on her lifestyle, like she travels, she goes to concerts and festivals, and she does her thing like that. And at the same time, I knew there wasn't an emotional depth to that. And I'm not saying social media is the place to be emotional, but I knew that for me, that was the shallow side of me, where it's like, I do like nice things. I'm not going to act like I don't. But I know that when it comes to who I am as a person, those nice things are very like, like, I'm gonna be real, I'm the youngest child. So being spoiled and enjoying the finer things in life, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've reached the pinnacle of that, because I know I haven't. And there's things I'm discovering every day, whether it be on any of these social media platforms, of what people are doing, that I'm like, I need to experience that at least once. So there is no blindness as far as me knowing I am not anywhere and everywhere and doing everything that I possibly could be doing. I know there's always another level. But when I sit here and I think about my life, I'm like, I've had, a fairly good experience as far as just life experiences, and being able to explore beyond the mundane of go to school, go to work, and just having clothes, but having nice clothes, or having technology but also having nice technology. I remember when back in the day, when the Motorola was the hot phone, I was probably in like 3rd grade, and I had a Motorola, the pink one, the Razr, and that was like 3rd grade. And a lot of you was like, what? When I even tell them that, and I'm like, yeah, like, like from a youngin'. And now, like, technology, all that stuff to me is so normal that it's kind of like, I know even with that, there's still more things for me to experience and to get, as far as achievements in life and, materialistic possessions to go out there and grab. But that isn't what fulfills me. And I recognize that I wanted more. And a big part of me now, when I say I want more, is that if I say certain things are my norm, I don't want that necessarily to be my brand. I want the thing that is truly unique about me to be my brand. And I need it to be my brand in the sense of not just on social media, but in my life, period. I don't need to just only be an artist because somebody's going to consume my art. But if I'm an artist and I'm true to that, and I'm true to creation, and I'm true to putting myself out there in a way that is an expression of effortless creativity, early and often, oh my gosh, my tongue twisters, early and often and frequently, that's something that I need to consistently put in as a norm for me, and not just make it something that I do when I feel like doing it or when I think it's okay to do it, but something that I do because that's just me, and something that I do because that's just what needs to be done as a standard. And I think the more that I get comfortable with holding myself to a standard, I will consistently put out that work. I will consistently put out that effort. I would consistently put out who I am, because you may be seeing it maybe once a week, but if I'm doing it every day, the progression is going to naturally show when I show up, because I'm doing it outside of when somebody else is seeing it. A lot of times I feel like people that are naturally talented, we rest on talent. We rest on, oh, I'm nice, so, I'ma always be nice. And it's kind of like there's somebody out there that's more hungry than you, that's more driven than you, that while y'all may have the same emotional love for whatever the craft is, they are actually putting in the day-to-day effort and work to prove it and show it. And they're not just saying it as a means to sound like they on that like that, but they're literally just doing it over and over and over again, because that's just who they are when nobody's watching, or if they have a big audience of 1 million people. Either way it goes, that's just them. And those are the people a lot of times that tend to have the most confidence, because they know that regardless of what you think of me, this is who I am. Not because you're seeing it, but because even if I don't see you for the next 5 years, I'm still going to be sitting here doing this thing, because this is how I have trained myself to think and operate and maneuver. And it has nothing to do with this is what I think people need to see, but it's all about who I am. And I think that realization came to me in the form of a question, partially because I have started to now just say, you know what? I need to get out of the way of trying to sit here and, no disrespect to my loved ones, but be the therapist and the encouragement and all of that for the people I know. And not saying they don't deserve it, but ultimately, a lot of times you can't be, what do they say, a prophet in your own land? That a lot of times people don't want you to feel like they're the ones having to be, I don't know, you're I don't want to say like the person you're helping, but they don't want to feel like you're a project, if you will. And I get that. Like, they don't want to feel like, okay, you're the one with all the answers. And I could receive that, because I don't feel like I have all the answers. I genuinely don't. And I know it can be easily misinterpreted because of just what I'm doing naturally right now, but it's because I'm feel inclined to share what I've been through so that I can pay it forward to that person that's just like me out there, that is the artist, that is super passionate about your gift and how you can use it to, change the world, and you're lacking the motivation to get the actual work done and to have follow through. So many of us think that passion and drive is enough, and motivation. It's that consistency that's going to really take you to the finish line. But bigger than the consistency, it's that you make the decision and the choice to say, this is who I am, period. Regardless if it's being seen or unseen, and showing up as that person in every room, and allowing yourself to have your work speak for you, because you're really about who you say you are, and you're really about what you say you do, and it just effortlessly oozing off of you. I know a lot of times, for instance, when I tell people I work in content strategy, and then they see my social profiles and they see I'm barely active, I know it's kind of like a disconnect, and rightfully so. How is a marketer not marketing themselves, right? But it's because I have to, within myself, say, this is who I am when nobody's watching. And technically I do that at work, and I'm now shifting into, I have to put myself out there. I have to show people that this is what I know and this is what I do if I want to grow, if I want to reach new heights and new levels, because staying at the same level is not my plan, and it is not my destiny. I need to continuously apply myself so that I'm not sitting here looking next year, the year after that, the year after that, year after that, wondering why it feels like I'm going through a revolving door because I'm not doing anything different. I have to challenge myself to want more. And that's exactly why I felt inclined to share this message. For that person that's sitting there just like me, that you have something that you love and that you are absolutely phenomenal at. Get to work, regardless if anybody's looking right now or not. And when you are ready, put a spotlight on yourself. Don't wait for anybody to give it to you, because a lot of times it ain't gonna come like that. You may get lucky and somebody randomly puts that camera on you because you just so happen to be in the right place at the right time. But preparation is always better. Being the one that knows what you have to offer and are willing and ready and able to show up for yourself is always what's better. People will support you. People will rally around you, but you first have to support yourself. You first have to show up for yourself. You first have to be that person that's doing it when nobody's looking, and develop that skill and develop that confidence and develop that dedication to your craft, dedication to your path, to take the road less traveled and commit all the way. This journey is not for the weak, but it is definitely for the determined. And if you're determined, you'll get exactly where you're meant to go. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Think about it and let me know in the comments, who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you when you feel like you're in your quietest hour and you're to yourself? And if that's how you show up all the time, and if you are doing that, hats off to you. I would love to hear what cool stuff you guys got going on. Anyways, this is your girl Taisha P, signing out. Later, y'all.